one people, but dolphins, man, are a lot more developed and a lot more intelligent than people even now that have studied them scientifically realize. They try all the time to telepathically communicate with us, and they're pretty astonished, the fact that we don't try to communicate with them other than with whatever hand signals and bells and other methods, man. Dolphins, whales in general, are highly developed mammals, man, and they shouldn't be on the menu. Scientifically, they shouldn't be on the menu because they're at the top of the food chain, and nowadays the waters are so polluted they've got all kinds of toxins in them, so that people shouldn't want to eat them in the first place. But those of you that are putting them on the menu, I'm telling you, you are that many of the whales are families, man. Mamas and papas and their little children, and they all communicate and at great distances, thousands of miles, some of them. They are highly, highly developed. They've been known and documented to save, people in danger from drowning, from sharks. They're highly intelligent. We're not talking about like the intelligence of a dog or a pig, which those creatures try to communicate as well. And again, for lack of a better word, telepathically. It's amazing how many people don't take the time to meditate and to find out what the Adamic, when you're reconciled to Christ, what the Adamic powers actually had. When Christ restored the Adamic powers, in other words, when you're restored to fellowship with our Creator, He restores also the ability to communicate with the creatures that He's made. And I'm not talking about bow-wow communications. No, I'm not talking about hand signals. I'm not talking about training. I'm talking about, for lack of a better word, telepathic communication, where you and the dog, or when you and the cat, or where you and the dolphin actually have a conversation, where you communicate, where you understand one another. That's possible through Christ. This is one of the many things that Christ, the benefits of knowing your Creator, restores. Now, I'm not saying I communicate clearly with every single creature that passes. I'm saying that there's some of them that it's just like some people. Some people are very easy read. I can hear their thoughts or telepathically very simply. Inadvertently. Just walking by, I know what they're thinking. There's some people that are loud with their thoughts, really loud. Some people, you can hear them on the other side of the planet. I'm getting off note here, but I'm saying that in Christ, an awful lot of things that people scoff at really actually do occur in reality, and you can either choose to, learn of those things, or you can choose to remain in your ignorance. At any rate, the Aussies, man, need to really control U-238 mining. You should really, pretty much cease on that as an export and learn to, get your financial resources another way. Really, uranium and power plants and so on and so forth, all that needs to come to an end. We have enough solar and wind technologies, man, present on the earth now that we need to cross over and universally, and we need to agree globally to do so, man. We need to agree to get our energy from non-polluting devices. I've just recently heard of the Hojo motor. I haven't looked into it long enough to see how viable stationary magnets can last, but that's definitely something, to consider for sure. It makes sense. It's logical. It's rational. So I would believe that it's quite probable that it actually does produce electricity for a substantial period of time, and maybe in the process can residually regenerate the magnets themselves. Maybe kind of like a perpetual motion thing. At any rate, I just want to come back here to this belt. When I talk about